Hey, I'm Marcus Mank from 98KUPD and Into the Pit, and I have Luke Hoskin with me from Protest the Hero. We're going to be playing tonight here at Club Red, and you guys have just started this tour out. How was your trek driving from Canada to the U.S. so far?
Probably the craziest that we've done yet. The mountains in Canada were the worst that we've ever driven, and we've driven them a lot of times. I think in Edmonton and Calgary, they got their first blizzard of the year, so everyone was freaking out. Never seen more cars in the ditch, and transports, or you guys call them, what do you call transport?
Trailers?
Yeah.
Semis, okay.
Right, yeah. So yeah, it was scary, but once we got through that, it's been fine. It's been great. It's just long drives, but we're used to that.
Yeah, you got a professional good driver?
Just
no.
Us. Well, we have our tour manager Adam is wonderful.
Oh, okay.
And he does most of the driving, but then we will chip in when he gets tired.
When you're out on the road, what do you actually do besides play football to kind of take your mind off some of the less luxurious times?
We gamble a lot in the van.
Oh, yeah?
We have like a whole kind of economy in the van and it actually goes outside of gambling. Like if you any kind of task you need someone to do, you say how much, and like, can you pass me water? The next answer from the person closest to water is how much.
Do you have your own set of games and rules that you made up?
We play like phone games like Yahtzee a lot. We just got into Farkle. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
No, I haven't even heard of that.
It's a doozy. It's like a grandma game, but you can gamble on it a lot. So we play those two. And Tim, our other guitarist, occasionally opens up what we call the Timmy Casino, and he just deals blackjack. And he's been winning a lot, though. Like, the house has been cleaning, and he even gives better odds than casinos.
But don't you find that suspicious, though, if the house keeps winning?
A little bit. I guess the house wins most of the time in the casino as well.
Yeah, but it's your buddy, and he's like, yeah, don't pay attention to the cards.
We are eagles when it comes to watching him shuffle and making sure, inspecting the deck and stuff. So I think he's just going on a spree of good cards, or we're all getting bad cards.
Well, there's Indian casinos all over here.
He knows, I guarantee he's got them all plotted out. He knows
Yeah.
what he's doing tonight. He'll be up till 4 a.m, I'm sure.
All right, now, with the brand new album, Volition, you did do crowdsourcing as well. Do you find record labels to be obsolete nowadays?
No, definitely not. I think that we wouldn't have got to where we are without record labels. Mm-hmm. And I think that, we spent 10 years plus on labels and really can't say enough about them. I think we were lucky to work with some really good ones. But I think it got to a point where we felt like if we, signed another 3-album contract or, even 2 or 1, we felt like, it's just another 10 years of our life, and I think that we wanted to try something new, and crowdsourcing seemed to be like a really realistic thing, and we researched for over a year, and it seemed like it fit. So labels, no, I don't think are obsolete. I think especially starting out, you can't just start out and do a crowdsourcing. I mean, you could. You'd have to have realistic expectations.
Yeah, well, you guys have been established for a long time, so it was a lot easier to do it. Now, what advice would you give out to bands who are starting out?
I wouldn't rush into any deals. We have close friends in Canada and a band called Intervals that are doing their second album right now, recording it, and have been incredibly successful and done it all without any label, any distribution, anything, and mostly just internet-based. And so my advice would be, don't say no to the idea of a label, but think it through before. I think we were good and we didn't rush into stuff like that, and we entertained a couple offers and we showcased for a few different labels and realized what we were looking for, and I think we got ourselves into a situation that we would go back and do again.
Yeah.
So I think just take your time and
well, you guys were lucky because you've been at a label before. You have all those contacts where a new band has nobody to talk to.
Yeah, so, and I think going right back, you need to do what we did, and is just get out and play and learn how to do the stuff that labels will eventually do for you. Book your own tours, figure out how to do that stuff, because we had to come back and relearn how to do most of it, the stuff that we couldn't call on labels to do.
Yeah, and you need those contacts, especially when you need to find a new drummer. How did you run across Mike?
Well, we've known Mike for ages, and that's a good segue.
I've been working on radio for 10 years, but thank you.
We've known Mike for years, and played with his band. He used to be called Today I Caught the Plague. millions, well, not millions, a lot of times, and they came on our first U.S. headline a few years ago.
Okay.
So we've known him forever. That made that choice for him a little bit strange, I think, because it's going to entail him leaving the band, which is now the Kindred, but it's all the same guys. And they're on this tour, which is fine, but it makes it kind of maybe awkward for the first few shows.
Yeah.
But I think it seems like they understand and are really supportive of like their good friend, and he fits in really well with us. I think any of them would fit in well with us because I wouldn't say because we're Canadian, but we've known each other so long. We it wasn't really like this new guy and tippy-toeing around, or he didn't feel that way. He kind of just got in the van and started laughing and gambling and farting, and it was all fine.
Okay, that's good. You didn't have to do any hazing, or have you played any?
No,
jokes on
I
him?
mean, he's not as big of a drinker, which we commend him for, because that's actually that would be one of my things to young bands is don't drink as much as we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hazed him with a wake and funnel, we call it, which is just if we find you asleep and we get a funnel together, we all yell wake and funnel, and you got to wake up and immediately funnel a beer bong a beer. So
Yeah.
It's awful.
I find that as a
it.
positive.
It's a positive.
Maybe I have a drinking thing. I don't know.
When you wake up out of a dead sleep, and it's not like we go, hey bud, wake up, wake
It's
and
like
funnel.
bullhorn type stuff.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, really. Yeah. But he took it like a champion, and kind of after that, you're just like, okay, we don't need to do that to him anymore.
Yeah.
But he gets it. He gets our sense of humor, and I think most importantly, he gets the musical direction that we go with things, and yeah, it's been really, really great so far.
Is he already adding to the band, like as he's starting to write some stuff?
Yeah, he's starting to write. Like I see him on Guitar Pro in the van, and I caught him with the title. It said PTH3. And I was like, you already think you're writing for this band. You're just touring with us, bud. No, but eventually he'll write for us, and it seems like he's already started, so it's really cool to have someone, as eager as he is.
Yeah, well, that's cool, because, you read stuff about Kerry King and Slayer talking about Gary Holt. Oh, the fans aren't ready to have him write for this record.
Really?
Yeah, he was saying, that's like,
okay.
Why not? He's technically been a part of the band
Right.
for a long time already.
Mm.
So, do you think Gary should be help write the next album?
Sorry, Arati? Our guy?
Oh, no, Gary Holt.
Oh, of course. I think if you're going to be
He's
a part
in
of
the
a band,
band,
you have to immerse yourself in it. And I understand when guys have been together for so long. I mean, Slayer.
Kerry was in it when he was 17.
Sure.
So
I get the hesitation.
yeah.
But for us, it's, I don't know. I would never compare us to Slayer.
Oh yeah, just an example. It's hard to compare somebody to Slayer without getting a slew of hate mail.
Sure.
that
Yeah,
10
so I'll
miles long.
stay away from that. But I think where we're coming from, that we definitely welcome the new approach. Or, I mean, we'll still use our veto powers if we don't.
Yeah.
If he writes something that is not Protest the Hero, we'll let him know.
Well,
Or we'll change it so that it is. And I think it's going to be great. I think he's an incredible asset.
Well, with a new approach, and I'm sure you're sick of this already, how did you get in touch with Chris Adler to do your studio drumming?
Not sick of it. The first question's always Indiegogo, and the second one's always...
That's standard, yeah.
Yeah, but you did some other background stuff before, so I appreciate it.
You're a person. You're not just a band.
Yeah.
So...
Sorry, what was I answering? I've been drinking
Oh,
too much.
it's all right. I'm already jealous of that.
The Chris Adler.
Chris Adler, yes. How
Okay.
you hooked up with him?
It's a really easy answer, and we tossed around a bunch of drummer names and kind of a wish list, and he was on it, and he was the first phone call because our manager manages Lamb of God as well.
Oh, it's perfect.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and we've met Chris before, so it was as easy as like, hey, do you want to do this? And he said, absolutely. I mean, the timing worked out with Lamb of God because they were in a situation, right, with their singer was currently not able to be in the band.
Yeah.
And it's good that he is now. But it worked out for us because Chris, I think he was looking for something to do, and the timing just really made sense for him and us, and it worked out really well, and we still keep in contact, and he's a great guy. And
Did he have a
amazing
little bit
drummer.
of influence in the writing as well?
I think absolutely he had more of an influence in the recording because we did most of the writing before he came out, but because we wrote with slate drums and like fake drums. And they were pretty ambitious, I think, a lot of the time. And he would kind of bring it back to, like, this is kind of... He's so good with the feel aspect of things that he's like, this is probably more what you want. And he'd play it, and we'd be like, yeah, that's great. And so he did have a big influence.
Yeah,
in
you
that.
can tell that he seems a little bit more heavy it's a bit of a heavy hitter on the drums on this album.
Absolutely,
But
yeah.
it's not like he's trying to overdo it. Like, hey, I'm pretty badass. This is everything I can do. You can
Yeah.
tell he's not trying to overshadow everybody else and just fit in
Yeah.
with the rest of the sound.
He did a really good job of pushing that, which is what we try to do as well. Like, I know some people would accuse us of having overlead, nude lead guitars, and I see where they're coming from. But we try to push that boundary and then kind of hold it back without going completely over the top.
Yeah.
And that's, that's up to interpretation. But my interpretation of Chris's playing is that he kept that like border really, really in check, and I love how it turned out.
Cool. Now, you are going to be touring for a while, and you're going to be away from home for a long time. What do you do when you get home to unwind from the long tour schedule?
Most of us just hang out with our significant others and do stuff that's not music for the most part. Actually,
Gambling?
Gambling never leaves. Gambling is always there. Yeah, just like really try to relax and try to. I know a lot of people, really good guitarists anyway, will go home and really keep practicing, and I admire that. But I kind of hang up my guitar for the couple weeks that I'm at home and just try to forget about it, because I know I'm going to be playing it every day. As soon as I leave. And
so you don't go home and play Guitar Hero?
no, I don't even have Guitar Hero.
That's good.
I might though, because that is so much different than actual guitar. That would be fun.
It's no, it's frustrating because I play guitar poorly, mind you, and you're fine with 3 buttons, but once you get to 4, you're used to like the 6 strings and all the different frets, and your hand doesn't move. It's frustrating. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a totally different.
I got into it for a bit, but our old drummer Mo was just so like insanely good at it, because it is such a timing thing.
Oh yeah.
That we just kind of all gave up. He entered a tournament on Warped Tour when we were on it, I think in 2008, and he just killed everyone. And a lot of them were guitarists, and he just won. It was nothing.
That actually makes sense though. The timing of it. That for a drummer that'd be perfect. Do you play a lot of video games or?
I don't as much, and I like them though. So it's not saying I don't like video games. And when I find one, I'll get really into it. We had a friend who actually works for, I think, Future Shop or Best Buy in Canada, and when we rolled through Vancouver, he gave us all PS Vitas.
Oh, nice.
Which probably at home wouldn't be your first choice, maybe in bed or something. But in the van, it was amazing because we could actually play like local network against each other.
You could play with each other. That's cool.
And he just said, "Grab any games you want." It was really cool. But I got in. What did I get into? I guess I got pretty into Madden for that one, which was fun. I probably still suck at it compared to a real gamer, but yeah.
Now, before we go, favorite gambling game that you love to do, whether it be dice or card game, in or out of the van, doesn't matter.
It's probably gambling on Yahtzee, because Yahtzee, just for me, is that perfect mix of chance and technique and skill. Sorry, technique isn't the right word, but like strategy.
Okay.
You definitely need it when it comes to Yahtzee. So that's my favorite. But if it came down to really, really simple, CeeLo is the best.
Oh, yeah?
Dice. It's 3 dice, 3 rolls.
You're a dice man.
Yeah, I love dice, yeah.
Do you drink when you gamble? Or do you
Yes, of course.
So what's the limit when you start really being horrible at gambling? 3 drinks, 4 drinks?
It's similar to playing live. I think you can have like 3 or 4 before you go on stage. Light beer. No shots. I can't do shots anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of rock and roll guys will laugh in my face at that. I can't.
No,
do the hard
everybody's
liquor.
been a lot healthier now. You
Yeah.
see everyone, especially, do you see Lemmy? He quit smoking. He only drinks
Really?
wine now. No more
Really?
beer.
Wow.
No hard alcohol.
Wow.
The god has changed to wine and
Yeah.
smoke free.
Well, at least he's still got wine though.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what's your beer? Beer of choice. Any beer in the world.
Man, that's a tough one too. There's one called Innocent Gun, and it's really expensive in Canada. I think it's from Scotland, and it's aged in whiskey barrels.
Oh.
And it's got that, or Scotch barrels, I guess, but it's got that flavor.
Yeah.
And it's really good. But you only have 1 or 2, and then it's kind of like,
Then
okay,
it's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
If you're in San Diego, Stone Brewery, they have some of the best beers.
Is that the white chocolate one? Someone's talking about white chocolate.
No, they've got gargoyles on all of their beer bottles. Arrogant Bastard's probably the most famous one.
Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah, and
sounds amazing.
it's 8%. You have a double Arrogant Bastard that's 14%. So that'll change.
Do they serve it here?
I don't think they serve it here, but
okay.
that'll change your beer to play ratio.
Okay, yeah. Before I play, I drink like some crap,
It's water. It doesn't matter.
some light beer. Yeah.
Well, Luke, thank you very much for
Yeah,
taking the time with me,
thank
and
you.
I can't wait to see the show tonight.
Cheers, man.
All right, cheers.